I met him at the thing,
Well,
yeah.
I can't stop myself.
We are live.
Yeah.
We're live.
What they
So
know,
everybody knows we are live.
Sorry, hon.
You can still talk, it's just that everybody will hear you.
This budget is the same when you handed out a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
I
hi.
there wasn't a change.
I said,
There'll be another one.
yeah, we got 3 minutes left. We won't be here for
Oh,
long.
okay. I brought my old one with me. They don't do them, I don't think until the.
Here with 6 minutes to spare, I heard. I heard I was here, I was here.
I wouldn't even mind, but I don't know that it would help them.
Went up. So that was the final.
Well, I can see. When I was the printer, so tiny.
Yes.
I had 10 surgeries, so
Others
I
are
got
just.
20
See, when this was addressed like this, I thought everyone got a copy. I didn't realize I was the only one. I found it out, I thought everyone got a copy. Well, it's addressed, to everybody, even with a CC to Nick Bell's son. No, it's okay, I mean, it's no big deal. I think actually Deb was gonna make some.
No, I can do it because we thought we had.
Yeah,
there wasn't enough time.
There wasn't enough time. Again, I only realized while we were discussing it that it wasn't.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I know. This came in yesterday.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
No, you were, but supposedly.
Yeah, I think, you know, I'm not sure what to
They
do.
don't all fit.
Yeah.
Same others, when they did
As it
mine,
turns out,
this was the
the rank of, you
largest
know,
one
whether
you could get.
they're not apples to apples. Which is all that I had was two competing petitions, one's a year and a half ago. And this one I have now, it's just throws another monkey wrench into the process. So, yeah,
That's all I'm trying to.
we can do about that.
Yeah, I know it's here.
So,
No, it's been quite a while.
you know, after the study.
And it goes through those and then
I don't want to pay one group or the other.
that's where it takes a lot of people.
Is there a way you can just go to it? And would say, hey, let's do it. All right, well, I'm gonna bring that up today, because I was, I'd rather know what the road was.
They're gonna have to. Well, and
It's the best path. Yeah, that's right, I'm just thinking out loud.
well,
No, that's a good idea.
Never had to spare. Oh, good. So I'm gonna,
Walker color is good.
Oh, thank you.
all right, thank you. All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Today is October 15, 2025. I'd like to say that at the beginning. So you know who's watching. Can you please join me for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so we had the minutes from September 22nd passed out, and we've all had a chance to review them. I'm going to make a motion to accept them. Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So I have one public comment card, and that would be from Kathy Donovan. I think you were just here. Come on up.
How's everyone tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good. So I'm Kathy Donovan, my husband Brian Donovan, who'll be in a second. Owners and operators, Shady Harbor Marina Boathouse Grill. We're back for the town board tonight to again request the town board's support in pursuing the creation of a water district for the hamlet and surrounding areas. Since the last meeting a few weeks ago, we've reached out to property owners in and around the proposed water district to gauge support in opposition to a public water source and fire flow service provided through a water main extension from the village of Ravenna. To date, we have received support as shown on a map that I'm going to show you of more than 50 property owners in and around the proposed district just over the last couple of weeks. The proposed district lines were supplied to our engineer by Delaware Engineering. The last time the water district was contemplated was 20 years ago, and it's our understanding that it only lost by 1 or 2 votes. So based on the initial positive feedback received to date, we hereby request the town begin the formal exploration of a water district to support the needs of its residents.
Thank you.
And I'll just leave these with you
Okay.
for the conversation later, but that's a map of the.
Yeah, we have some things as well. Okay, so let's get into our 2026 budget.
Speak up a little bit, Jeff?
Yeah. Budget presentation for the year 2026. For the year, the total expenditures for the year from general funds is $1,903,762. These are townwide funds. These are funds that are broken as on the summary page. The top left-hand side, you'll see appropriations for general, appropriations for highway, and the total is townwide funds below it, as I just mentioned. If you look over to the far right where it says difference, there's a difference of 8 cents per thousand assessment. So if you're assessed for 200,000, you're gonna get $16 reduction in your taxes. It's a negative 0.082000. So there's lots of other numbers in here, including water districts and lighting districts and overlake, and they're all separate. They're not townwide funds. They are related to district specific. Our general fund are on pages, it says pages 1 of 5, and there's a lot of data in there. Every line item we use. The first page is revenue. Okay. Revenue has to match expenses. So the second part of this, and that's pages 2 through 5, are the expenses in every department that you can examine these for yourselves. We will be setting a public hearing in a little while. So anyway, that's our, there's no major changes. The development of the budget is based upon experience, where our costs, our revenues and costs are through a certain date this year, as well as historical costs. So you'll see some lines or, columns that speak to actual and then budget. For instance, budget 2025 is on there, third column from the far right. It tells you how much we anticipated getting in and how much we actually will get in. Of course, nothing's finalized until the end of the year. Excuse me. So there is a 2.5% increase in staff salaries, wages built into this budget. In case anyone wants to know. The second part of this is we actually have to go through a lot of things. A lot of information comes through. In fact, I know that this information will come through tomorrow. That will perhaps amend these things slightly. We have, I've received the hospital medical insurance quotes. Make some things slightly different, but it's not too bad. Not as bad as it's been years gone by. And that's just one illustration. That just came in. And that'll be on our next agenda, folks, just so you know. And then we go to the highway fund. Is the actually it's after it says 105. 505. And this one is we're looking at a $1,006,445 is our budget for 2026. They follow the column under tentative budget. The income is on the top side. Property taxes, pilots, interest and earnings, consolidated, that's the CHIPS money, and an interfund transfer. Okay, we're gonna be transferring 40,000, at least that's the plan, into the highway budget from the general fund. When it goes to expenses, you'll see them down below. The road maintenance personnel services, we have budgeted $320,000. If you look at the last year's budget was 312. This is built in with current staffing. Multiplied by 2.5%, or 1.025% actually. And there's road maintenance personnel services, contractual expenses. There's our CHIPS money again. And machinery contractual expenses, we're at 75,000. Snow removal, 25,000. That snow removal personal services, those are staff. And that is what we pay overtime out of that line item. It's, and the other account up above is for routine costs. But overtime comes out of that. So we have budgeted, for instance, 25,000, as we have for the past number of years. So far in 2025, we have spent $21,872, and we have no idea what the snow will be like between now and January 1st. So hopefully we'll make it, maybe we won't. Snow removal contractual, that is salt, sand, and fuel. During the winter months, we use a winter mix, and that gets charged to that account. Okay. Out of the 80,000 we budgeted last year, we have already spent 75. Okay, which is why we bumped it up another 5,000. You see, it went from 80,000 to 85,000 on behalf of 2026. And once again, it's you actually look back at 75,000 this year, 2025, but last year we spent 63,000. Whereas the year before that, we spent 80,476. Can't budget that too well. We don't know how the weather's going to be this winter. Farmer's Almanac notwithstanding. Okay, state retirement is kind of an automatic thing. Social Security is automatic, workers' comp, and other things such as that. I would go to the sewer plant operations. The cost of the sewer plant is anticipated to be $204,000. You see that at the bottom? Well, that's the income. See the 204. Whereas on the second page of the sewer fund, you see at the bottom expenses, it's 204,000. And there are two sewer districts, so there's the main one that's down the hamlet, and there's a very small one. It serves Serta, the mattress factory, and that's all that serves. Next will be the water fund. There's three water districts. The first water district is on Route 9W. The water supply comes from the village of Ravenna, and it comes down to where Curse Lake's Motel is. And they bill directly. There's some charges, general fund charges for the sewer, and that's why it's only $625. District 2, the cost of District 2 is going to be $47,190. That's with the 40 parcels over on Shore Park area. And District 3 is also by Serta. There's also a couple other homes in that area and businesses, specifically the Coxsackie Antique Center And, there's a water repair place there as well. That's Water District 3. It's over there by the IPA, parcels. And there's the water fund. The lighting fund, we actually have, I'm trying to remember here, I think we had a reduction in this one because we are starting to have some payoff in the upgrade we did with the lighting district a year and a half ago. If you look at 2024, our actual cost was 27, or excuse me, let me go to the cost. I'm on the wrong line. Total expenses. I'm on the wrong page, hold on. Yeah, right there, excuse me. Last year, we spent $26,000, $26,778. This year, through first part of September, we've spent 14. So there's a reduction. And if you look back even further to 2024, it was 31,000. So we went from 31,000 to 25,000, 26 actually, and now we're at 14. So that has begun to pay off and save a little bit of money for the people who live in that district. The District 2 is, what's that road over there? Hoteling Road? Sorry, once again, it's like their own little place over there. Ambulance fund. The expenses for the ambulance fund, we have our figures for that. For District 1, which is the district that is served by the Ravenna Rescue Squad, that is $55,922 is our anticipated expenses. And in District 2, that is served by the Cooksaki Ambulance District, that is $42,754. I should note that District 1 is the only district that gives us any insurance reimbursement. The Ravenna Rescue Squad does bill insurance, as do all of them. However, they share the expense with us, or excuse me, the income. So you can see that there's a rough estimate of $8,500. We reduced it from $9,200. And as I said earlier, this is a formula of past expenses, known things in the future. It's not easy to hit the target. But if you look back into 2023, we got in reimbursement $13,740. So of course, when we get 13,000 and next year's budget comes along, we think, well, let's increase our budget for that. And we did. We increased it to 9,000, but our actual income was 8,400. Okay. And so then we brought it down up a little more, and it's at 4776, although there is a check that's going to be coming towards the end of the year. We already know that. The exact figure we don't know. So we did bring our budget down this year to 8,500, not knowing where it's going to land. There's a lot of both income and expenses that are similar to that. Some years they are higher, some years they are lower, and it's trying to find the right place in between. And then, of course, unknown. What's the weather going to be? There's an income line item that's in the very first pages, and it's one that we have been mystified by for years, and it would be mortgage tax. It's 83005, and this year we budgeted $80,000. Comes to us in two checks, and we budgeted for 25, $80,000. So the first check came in, and it's $39,187. So we wanted each check to be about 40, so it's close. We have no idea what our next check will be. It doesn't come till November. And unfortunately, we have to put forth a budget right now, not knowing what the trends are for the final line item of 80,000. But we stuck with 80,000 for the past number of years, and hopefully it'll be fine. Okay, other things that have changed greatly is our pilot changed a great deal. I know I've mentioned CERTA a few times, I'm not trying to pick on them, but CERTA has done a challenge to their assessment, and they were successful in that. And the pilot we received in times gone by was, 29,000. And this year it's down, we're expecting an income of 14,000. So those decreases will abound. Fines and forfeited bail, we're not gonna make the 80,000 for fines and forfeited bail. We only have 37 as of now. Okay. Last year we had 83,000. This year we had, to date, 37,000. A lot of differences. But again, there's a lot of unknowns when you put together a budget. Some of it's educated guess. So, amongst you here, any thoughts or questions? And I want to thank Kelly Downs and Nick Delisani in helping us put this together. What we're going to do here is we're going to have next moving this budget over, and we're going to set a hearing on the preliminary budget. Okay, there's 3 budgets: the tentative, the preliminary, and the final. So we're going to be moving into the preliminary phase from the tentative. So we're going to set a public hearing for the preliminary budget. So any thoughts or questions? Some might be best for that night after you've had a chance to review it more.
I was just thinking, with the changes at Green County with ambulance stuff, I didn't know how that would,
That
I mean, we don't know.
doesn't seem to, that's at least I don't see anything until 2027.
26 or 27.
And in fact, even then, it's uncertain. They've been debating this for quite a while now. That will change a lot of things. And I don't have any idea what share the county is going to take on. There's been discussions they'll take on the whole thing, so we won't have ambulance charges. But, I'd like to see it before I, believe it. Okay. So,
The time for the preliminary budget, what time?
I'll have that for you. Be patient, young lady. All right, so now I have resolution number 129, and it's called Resolution to Set Public Hearing for 2026 Budget. Whereas the town board has established the 2026 preliminary budget, and the town law of the state of New York requires a public hearing to be held regarding the preliminary budget. Now therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of New Baltimore will hold a public hearing on October 27, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at the Town Hall, 3809 County Route 51, Hannah, New York, 12087, to hear those members of the public who wish to be heard regarding the 2026 preliminary budget. Now, notice to New Baltimore, Town of New Baltimore notice of public hearing. There's some other tidbits here. A copy of the proposed budget is available for public inspection at the town clerk's office at Town Hall, 3809 County Route 51, Hannah, New York, 12087. Proposed salary figures of elected officials. We put this here every year. And they are town council, $5,546. That's for 4 of them. That's each, by the way. Town justices, $13,310. And that's for 2 of them each. Town supervisor, $13,310. Town clerk, $44,367. And superintendent of highways, $63,224. By order of the board, town clerk, I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right, don't forget, 6:30.
Okay. Will a copy of the preliminary budget also be posted on the website?
Sure will,
Okay,
right above the tentative.
great.
Okay. I'm not sure where to go here next. I've got 2 things. And I got this, and I'm going to insert this in because I think it needs to be recognized at the very least. Yesterday late, I received a petition from residents of the town of New Baltimore. And I'll not read every word of it, but I'll at least give you the point of it. And by the way, I did clear this up with the rest here. It's identified as being sent to Jeff Russo, Kelly Downs, Shelley Van Etten, Janet Cash, Deborah Sotolano, and CC to Nick. But of course, I only found out this afternoon that I was the only one to receive it. But
I can make copies.
it's okay. Yeah, we'll get everybody one. I always
I
thought.
can make one before everyone leaves.
But anyway, it's proposed New York complete street project in opposition to. I have 174 signatures of people, town residents, and this has not been thoroughly reviewed, but it needs to have a thorough review, as did the last petition. The one thing I'd rather not see is, of course, this represents the receipt of two petitions that are in, I mean, it's not apples to apples complete, but they are in somewhat opposition to each other. Is that a fair way to put it?
I don't know.
It is, in opposition to. And so, I'll just read a little bit. On behalf of the residents of the town of Baltimore, we would like to submit to the town board the attached petition. Residents have signed, clearly stating their opposition to the above-referenced project. So we're gonna have to take this and bring it into advisement. And I had a brief chat with our attorney here. The last thing I wanna have is a group of two different groups of residents in opposition to each other as it relates to the streets program or any other program for that matter. And which one has greater validity? Well, they both do. Which one do I listen to the most? I want to hear both. Where do we go? I'm actually just thinking, and I don't know if you can come up with a plan on this, but I would be more comfortable in following the will of the people of the town of Baltimore. And is there a way that this can go to a referendum? How would we set that up?
Yeah, that was a question you posed to me right before it started the meeting.
Yeah, I know.
I have to, we'll look into it and see if that's the best approach.
I mean, to get a clear reflection of what the residents want, I think would be a fair way to do it. Otherwise, I don't want to pick, parties from one side and parties from the other. I don't want to do that. And whatever people want to do would be, at least something I would prefer to know instead of guess. Because the petition that was submitted a year and a half ago isn't completely the same as this. So again, they're not apples to apples. But it is about the Complete Streets project. And not all the information in here is 100% valid. And on the other hand, the original petition didn't have all the information available to them when they signed it either. So I think there's a lot of things I would like to try to hash this out and see if we can get a referendum. Do you know when that would be? Would it have to wait until the next townwide election? You don't know?
No, not necessarily, but considering the when the next town election is
I
actually
know,
quite soon.
we can't do it in time for this election. It's just not possible. Again, I just received this yesterday, yes.
So, significant changes have been made since the last public meeting about this. And, where we heard a lot from the people and we actually brought a lot of that back and made a lot of changes. So I would think that before a referendum, we would want to present, what those changes are, so people can digest those and see what they think as well.
Yeah, and we can submit a lot of material out there, whether it's, on the web or what have you, in our newsletter, et cetera.
Yeah, and Jeff, I need some clarification here. You said there's two petitions, the one that we just got, for the 174 signatures. What was the other petition
The one
you
from
said we got last year?
A year and a half ago, wasn't it? A year and a half ago?
23.
Oh, was it
Okay.
23? I guess
So that was the one in favor a year and a half ago in
Don't-
favor.
I
And
guess
this
my
is in
It's right
opposition.
here, I have it right.
Okay,
Copy of.
Yeah, and that one was on behalf of the Complete Streets project.
right, okay.
And this
So
one is in
one
opposition
in
to it.
opposition with the
So again, they're
174
not-
signatures.
They're not exactly matching in their opposition, but
Yeah,
they
I
are
don't
in
know how they-
contrast.
Actually could match.
In 2023, there wasn't this proposal did not exist, is that
That's right.
correct?
All right, no, nothing, what we have been presenting has been what's, the genesis of that original, petition back in 23, I guess. That was the result of that. So, no, the information did not exist back then as it exists now. So, and the last thing I want to do is I don't want to have neighbor against neighbor on any of these things. I like to have just a simple, as well as we can, referendum, or some expression of the will of what the people of the town want, the residents of the town want. That would make me more comfortable anyway.
Right, but until we get to look at that, until the attorney has made a
I don't make decisions.
but got your information together, I think we're just beating around the bush, and I think we just need to wait until we get everything set, so we can look at the old petition, we look at the new,
Yeah,
and
this,
what our options
like I
are.
said, this came in, I actually was in yesterday morning, and I stopped back to drop off some paperwork, and this was in yesterday late, so,
But aren't we petitioning against a project that is in no way complete to begin with?
That's why I
Because there
wanted
is a
to-
great deal that still needs to be done on the first proposals that have been taken. Deb is, the person that knows the most about this, with a lot more public information.
It begs the question of where you are in the process and what's to come, and if there's a resolution to come that might be subject to permissive referendum, that might be the more appropriate time to receive petitions and go from there when there's actually a
final
clear
project.
But
Right.
I've gotta look into it.
there's a lot to do. But I don't think at this particular point, this certainly should be, just like we did with the last petition. Needs to be acknowledged.
Right.
There's 174 residents. So I don't want to be dismissive of it, and I thought we should bring it forward.
What does it say?
After board meeting, so how are you even on?
Got a lot of stuff, okay? Actually, I'll read the whole thing. I'm not gonna read the line items with people's names, of course. On behalf of the residents of the town of New Baltimore, we would like to submit to the town board the attached petition residents have signed, clearly stating their opposition to the above referenced project. Until such time that the public is advised by the town board that its proposal is no longer being considered, all information will continue to be distributed to ensure residents are made aware of this proposal. All community members, when approached to sign a petition, advised that they were unaware of this proposal, those who signed as well as those who did not sign the petition. Many of the residents in the hamlet that signed the original petition to request action to be taken to slow increased traffic passing through the hamlet advised they were not informed of this proposal and that it certainly did not address or resolve their original concerns. Residents question how this proposal reached the current phase of development without the community being informed. This proposal is not fiscally viable, nor does it address any reasonable issue/need. But most importantly, residents do not support the unwise misuse of tax dollars, no matter source of funding, and certainly agree it is not the town of New Baltimore's responsibility to pay for this project. Based on presentations made by the town board member Santovano and DOT consultants, it is clear this proposal appears to have support from a select few. This proposal does not represent nor has the support of the members of this community, including those in the hamlet. Attached are petitions signed by 174 members of this community. We would like to request the town board advise community members through several public forums, public board meetings, internet, newspaper, of the current status of this project within the next 30 days to eliminate any further misinformation or lack of information. If this project is to be pursued, there is no doubt that residents will continue to join together to prevent further development. It's fairly clear. I do note that there has been public hearings, been a couple in this very room. We had one at the fire department, the firehouse. There's been a lot of conversations here in our board meetings. So, I know you've certainly tried to get the message out, and so is they have a website dedicated, not Town of New Baltimore website, but a website dedicated to the MJ Engineering Project. So I know that there's been a lot of efforts to get the information out. And,
Newsletters.
And the newsletters, yeah. Lots of things. We've used the mail, we've used the internet, we've used a lot of other means. We use the owl, or YouTube. Maybe we can go to commercial while this happens.
We wouldn't be able to agree on which one to show.
We get paid a little money for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what we have. It's here. I'll check and, we'll go over, make sure that the signatures, I mean, it's not gonna make things different, but we will check the signatures, make sure they're residents and all the like. Not that, if it turns out to be 173, like that makes a difference. So it's not gonna be that important. Now, it's somewhat related to the water district, and I did have some correspondence from Mr. Michael Biscone. And this is in relation to the Shady Harbor project. And so this is attention Mr. Nick Delasanti. Should have come to me, but that's okay. It says, "Dear Nick, Miss Donovan has dropped off her check at the village office for reimbursement of my fees incurred to date. She is, however, still refusing to sign any indemnification agreement and has advised the village she has an alternate method to pursue her request for water to the marina. Please advise the Town of New Baltimore Town Board that the village does not intend to proceed on this request in any manner unless until an indemnification agreement is signed by the appropriate parties. As such, no further action will be taken on this file. Please feel free to distribute this correspondence to the town board on your October 15, 2025 meeting." That's Mr. Biscone. So, next one. There's a lot of stuff that's come in the past few days, folks, so please forgive us here. Last week, when I saw a Facebook post I was advised of, and I think other people had asked about creating a water district in town. So I come up with a draft copy of a statement from the office of the supervisor. I passed it off to Delaware Engineering for their review, to make sure it's sound in terms of process. And then when I was done with that, I gave it to our attorney, who I think it was last night or yesterday late. You gave me your, yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. So this is what I wrote, and I'm gonna post this on the, I hope you all have it. I'm gonna post this on the town webpage. And again, this was put together earlier today with the final comments from yourself from yesterday. Okay, so this is hot off the desk of the town supervisor. Creating a water district in the town. A series of formal steps are required for the creation of a water district in a town in New York State. They are: 1, residents of a new special district, i.e. water, are the only residents who pay the debt for the new district. 2, the creation of a water district can be done in 2 different ways. A, the first is by resident request and serves only those residents in the specified geographic area. A formal petition of those residents should be provided to the town board for the review and approval. Given the scope and cost of the proposed project, this petition should be legally sound and able to withstand review. If this proceeds with a petition being prepared and presented, the petitioners are responsible for the expense of any study. B, the town board could act on the creation of a water district without the submission of a petition. If the board proceeds without a petition, The town general fund will pay for the study. However, these costs are subject to a permissive referendum. 3, a study will need to be initiated, as Mr. Biscone said here, with the hiring of an engineer and the agreement with the Village of Ravenna. 4, during the study phase, all New York State standards must be satisfied. The establishment of the water district may require approval of the state controller, particularly if the new district would require significant financial obligations. And as of this date, there has been no petition presented to the town board expressing interest in the creation of a water district. So anybody want to say anything about that?
I have a question, Jeff. Is the permissive referendum townwide or
Yes.
to the district?
If it's townwide funds, it's for townwide.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
And the Village of Ravenna doesn't seem to be.
Yeah.
well, they suggested in their letter an appropriate party to sign. So the town of Baltimore, whether we have the district made beforehand or after the fact, the town of Baltimore would be that party. Okay, that would satisfy what was identified in Mr. Biscone's letter. So, I mean, I think it's a very important point that it needs to be legally sound. I said that it's on number 2 in the 2A. And that is for the following reasons. I don't think we want to be into a circumstance where the petition prepared is not legally sound, because all it will take is one person in the district to file a suit, and it'll stop all measures from moving forward. And I'd like to cut that off before it gets to such a point. So I think that would be very important. And you know, again, I pulled things out of the New York State Code. I found what other people were doing, and you know, and then of course I passed it off to the parties I spoke of. So that's what we have, folks. Okay, and that's not for a resolution tonight. Thank God. We got no stuff for that. Okay. Now, we're gonna get to some real stuff. Town resolution authorizing town supervisor to sign agreement with Delaware Engineering and Bellamy Construction for the installation of a water line for water district number 2. Okay, resolution number 130, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign an agreement with Delaware Engineering and Bellamy Construction for installation of a water line for water district number 2. Whereas the Delaware Engineering and Bellamy Construction have submitted to the town their revised cost estimates for replacing the water main on the east side of Route 9W. And whereas the updated cost estimate for the entire project is $334,554.92. Resolved that the town board authorized the town supervisor to sign the agreement with Delaware Engineering and Bellamy Construction. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made in second. Discussion?
Jeff, I've heard, that this is $35,000 more than the initial proposal, I think, which would have required the cooperation of Mr. Slater and Diedrichs to go through their property. And I've been told, this hearsay, that would have been $10,000 possibly plus the cost of a fire hydrant. Is that true?
The dollar figures? No.
Okay,
The dollar figures are said no.
okay.
And let's recall that the original rate was $370,000. I was able to reduce some of the costs by the elimination of those fire hydrants. Okay.
Those dollars are true.
Excuse me?
Those dollars aren't true.
Which dollars aren't true?
The 10,000 compared to 35,000.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of my,
Excuse me, they are not true. And this is not a public comment period.
Who are you?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, who is it?
It doesn't matter. It's a member of the audience.
Later, my brother is busy. His oldest daughter has senior night. He's been dealing with this from day one.
All right, look, guys,
Okay.
That's my comment today.
please. Just for conversation on the board, please.
okay. I guess my concern is that as chair of the water district committee that you appointed me to, I don't think that I've been getting the information that I've really wanted when I've asked for. And
Fair enough.
I think that we have to go forward with this, obviously, so that the people in Sheller Park can get this project done, but I would suggest that in the future, if possible, that I, as chair of the Water District Committee, get more notice of the negotiations and discussions prior to my having to vote on it in a public board meeting.
Well, if you see the document here, see this document? It's dated 10/14/2025.
I know, but I also got something from
Advance
you
notice.
a while ago.
Advance notice is, I didn't have it. They signed it, by the way, it was sent to me this morning. And, Bellamy signed it on 10/15/2025.
No,
this
I
morning.
understand, but you also sent me
Advance
something
notice is
a
not-
couple of weeks ago, and I asked questions about it, and I didn't really hear back, so. I'm not saying that I object to this at all, I'm just saying that I wish that
Well, I
as
wish
chair
I
of
had
the committee that
information.
you appointed me to, I would have had more information ahead of time, that's all.
I wish I had information to pass off before today, but I didn't get it till today.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, we have a motion made and second. Any further discussion?
No.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, what's next here?
Like this.
Okay. Agricultural District Number 123 Annual Review. Ms. Van Etten, would you like to review this, please?
Sure. Notice that the 30-day period for public request for inclusion in agricultural district number 124. Please take notice, the agricultural district number 124 encompassing 841 parcels and 42,242.64 acres within the county of Greene, towns of Ashland, Athens, Carroll, Catskill, Woonsocket, Durham, Halcott, Hunter, Greenville, Jewett, New Baltimore, Prattsville, Lexington, Wyndham, and the villages of Athens, Catskill, Woonsocket, Hunter, and Cannonsville. Entire county of Greene was established pursuant to Article 25-AA of the Agricultural Market Law. Please take further notice that under Section 303 of the Agricultural and Market Law, the county is required to allow landowners an opportunity to submit a request for inclusion of the land, which is predominantly viable agricultural land, within a certified agricultural district prior to the county established 8-year review period. Please take further notice that the county will conduct a 30-day request for inclusion period, which will begin on November 1st of 2025 and on November 30th of 2025. Please take further notice that during this 30-day period, any municipality whose territory encompass the above agricultural district, any state agency, or any landowner within or adjacent to the district may be proposed in addition to the district. Please take further notice that any proposed addition must be filed within Greene County Economic Development, Tourism, and Planning, 411 Main Street, Suite 419, Catskill, New York, 12414, within 30 days, the 30 days specified. Please take further notice that a fillable PDF of the request for inclusion form can be accessed at greencountynewyork.gov/department/planning/agricultural/district 124. Please take further notice that the paper copy of the request for inclusion form can be obtained from Greene County Economic Development, Tourism, and Planning at 518-719-3290. Please take further notice that the termination of 30-day period, the proposed additions will be submitted to the Greene County Agricultural and Farmland Board Protection, and that thereafter a public hearing will be held on the district proposed additions and recommendations of said board.
Should that be 123 or 124
It
as
says
stated?
124 here.
This is 123.
All right, so noted, thank you.
It should be 124.
Resolution, next is resolution number 131. Resolution in support of Congressman Nick Langworthy's Energy Choice Act, HR 3699, and S 1945, in opposition to government mandated natural gas bans. Whereas affordable and reliable energy is essential in health, safety, and economic prosperity of New York families and businesses and communities. And whereas natural gas remains a dependable, cost-effective, and clean-burning energy source used by millions of New Yorkers to heat their homes, cook their foods, and power their businesses. And whereas in 2019, New York State enacted the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act, which mandates aggressive emissions reductions and serve as the foundation for sweeping energy restrictions, including efforts to phase out natural gas. And whereas building on the CLCPA, Governor Hochul and the state of New York, or the state legislature in 2023 enacted provisions in the state budget banning natural gas and other fossil fuel hookups in most new residential buildings and commercial buildings effective 2026 for smaller buildings and 2029 for larger buildings, thereby eliminating consumer choice and eliminating access to affordable energy. Whereas Governor Hochul has publicly supported these bans and related measures as part of her administration's climate and energy agenda, despite widespread concerns that such mandates will increase costs, strain grid reliability, and restrict energy diversity. And whereas these top-down policies undermine affordability, threaten reliability during peak demand, strip away the freedom of consumers and businesses to choose energy sources that best meets their needs. And whereas Congressman Langworthy of New York State and Senator Jim Justice of West Virginia introduced the Energy Choice Act, H.R. 3699 and S. 1945, federal legislation that ensures state and local governments cannot restrict consumer choice access to natural gas and other affordable energy sources, thereby protecting freedom of choice for New Yorkers and all Americans. And whereas the Energy Choice Act will safeguard households, small businesses, hospitals, farmers, manufacturers from harmful government overreach and preserve access to an all-of-the-above energy strategy that strengthens reliability and affordability. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Baltimore strongly supports the Energy Choice Act introduced by Congressman Langworthy, H.R. 3699, and Senator Justice S. 1945, and stands firmly opposed to New York State's natural gas bans, the LCPA-driven restrictions, and other state energy mandates that eliminate consumer choice. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Baltimore urges Congress to pass the Energy Choice Act to defend commuter choice, protect energy affordability, and preserve reliable access to natural gas for New Yorkers. And be it further resolved that copies of this resolution will be transmitted to Congressman Langworthy. So I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion, please. For those that are unaware, that apparently as of the first of the year, you cannot have a oil burning. In town of Baltimore, we don't have natural gas, but you can't have an oil burning or propane fueled heat source in your home, or gas stove. If
That's ridiculous, and that's not the case.
Yeah, that's not.
That's
You
on the
shouldn't
new.
say things that are just plain untrue.
Well, I mean, I just read the resolution. It does
You
indicate
know
that.
what the resolution says, you made it up.
No, I didn't.
It's for new
Yeah, no.
installation.
I didn't make this up.
Right.
Anyway, all those in favor say aye. Opposed?
I would like to abstain from the
I
vote.
read it on, yes.
I love my gas stove. I'd hate to give it up. But I, as an elected council member in New Baltimore, am not an expert on state or national energy policy. So I'm certainly not going to take a position on a piece of legislation that I haven't even seen and don't understand, that is being proposed by somebody from Niagara Falls in West Virginia. I don't know if this is a good or a bad idea, but I certainly know that here in New Baltimore, I am certainly not an expert on state and national energy policy. So, sorry, abstain.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's go to resolution number 132. Resolution to approve training for dog control officer. Resolution to approve training for the dog control officer, whereas the town of Gilderland is holding the 13th annual dog control officer, animal control officer training or conference on Wednesday, November 12th to Thursday, November 13th. Resolved that Sherry Vieta is authorized to attend at a cost of $125. Registration split between the town of Athens, and village of Cooksaki, and the town of Baltimore at $31.25 each. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded.
I just want to say that I think that this will be a great opportunity for Sherry because she's going to learn more about changes that have been made to agriculture and markets law in terms of dog control. And she will also get a better understanding of the dangerous dog laws. And we have had a number of incidents here in New Baltimore where, dangerous dogs have been an issue. And it will be, I think, very valuable to all of us for her to get this information.
Agreed, and I just hope we don't have any dog issues on November 12th or 13th.
Or ever.
All right.
Send you that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution to update the complaint form. The town of Baltimore adopted a complaint policy and complaint form by resolution 163-2015 on November 23, 2015. Whereas the building department has requested an updated form to include contact information, including telephone number, email, and parcel identification. Resolved, the town board of the town of Baltimore approves the changes to the complaint form. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution to approve router and core switch replacement at Town Hall. Whereas it has been recommended that the core router and switch, which have been in production since December 19th, 2019, is nearing the end of life as of December 31, 2025. Resolved that the town board of the town of Baltimore approves quote number JW006887B1 from Intelligent Technology Solutions for new units and a 5-year manufacturer's warranty for $4,233 for hardware, $75 for services, $941.60 for UPS, network controller, temp humidity sensor, and patch cables for a total cost of $5,924.60. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry, you had something?
It's a question, yeah.
Go ahead.
In his note, Mr. Lodo, I can't pronounce it.
Lucati.
I know, it's
Thank
not
you.
easy.
He indicated that the town would approve the quote for the, network attached, supply. We would not need the UPS and accessories.
Right.
So I'm wondering if he gave us like, he didn't really give us, he did say how much the NAS would cost, but it didn't give us like a distinction of how much it would cost one way or the other. And it sounds like if we go with the
Save some money.
NAS, we might save some money, I'm not sure. But if you could tell us that, it would make a difference.
Mhm.
Well, I'll ask you.
Yeah, so maybe we should wait on that, because if that'll save us money, and it's actually a better way of doing things, but
It says if the town approves a quote for a new NAS, we don't need the UPS and accessories as we will use that unit for the networking. So I'm listing them as an option in this quote.
Mhm.
and he did list the price of the NAS, but
Yeah.
he didn't explain how it would be different if we didn't have to go for all the UPS and other attachments. So I don't know if it'd be less or more, but I think we would want to know.
Yeah, we do have the UPS in here,
Yeah.
$429.99.
Yeah. So I'm just,
I can ask him. All right, so,
Contingent on.
wait a minute. Who's on the ITS committee?
Me,
Helen.
Joe, you want to call?
I can.
All right, thank you. So we'll table this, is that what we're doing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Vote to table.
Okay, so we're going to have a motion to table, resolution number 134. I'll tell you what, I'll make that motion. I'll motion that we table resolution 134.
one second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution number 135. Everybody's favorite. Resolution to advertise for the position of cemetery sexton. Resolved, the position of cemetery sexton was created to manage the operations of town cemeteries and the town of Baltimore, hereby authorizes the advertisement, and it reads, The town of Baltimore is currently seeking a sexton to manage the routine operations of cemeteries owned by the town of Baltimore to be paid $125 per grave opening, $125 for cremains interment, and $25 monument permit review per standard grade. The successful candidate shall be responsible for compliance with all rules, regulations, and laws involving labor, hours of labor, health, safety, and working conditions, shall be solely responsible for payment of all federal, state, and local taxes. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Just as a word of warning, for next year, we're going to have a new subcommittee. I don't know if there's anyone amongst us who has any particular expertise in cemetery oversight. And if there is such a
Only for
person,
my enemies.
if there is such a person, I would like them to, step forward and let us know. But in the meantime, we will have to create a new subcommittee for next year, and we'll be to whoever gets it. Okay. Okay, next is just an announcement. We have, let's just make sure I'm not missing any pages here.
We picked up.
Yeah, the leaf pickup, I know I have it here.
Yeah.
Yep, I got it. Okay, leaf pickups will begin on Monday, October 20th, and end on Monday, November 24th. This is for the hamlet only.
Right.
Okay? Bags should be roadside by 7 a.m. It's thanks, Alan. And then I have another notice here. I'll mark that off. No parking on town roads. There'll be no parking permitted on any town roads, streets, or shoulders from November 15, 2025 to March 15, 2026 to allow for safe and efficient removal of snow from such roads, streets, and shoulders. Please be advised that the town highway superintendent has the authority to have vehicles in violation of this notice towed at the vehicle owner's expense. Please let's work together to make this winter manageable for everyone. Furthermore, it is illegal to plow, blow, or otherwise deposit snow from personal property into, onto, or across a public highway. This causes an unsafe situation for those traveling on our town road. Lastly, please keep trash containers a safe distance from the roadside so they don't get tipped over by the plow as it passes. If we all work together, we can make this a safe winter season for everyone. Thank you, Alan Van Wall, Highway Superintendent. Okay, upcoming meetings. October 27th, public hearing on the 2026 preliminary budget. That's at 6:30. Everybody remember, October 27th, we'll move into the town board work meeting at 7. October 29th, public information meeting for Water District Number 2 residents with Mary Beth Bianchini from Delaware Engineering, and that's at 6 o'clock. That'll be right here. November 5, Zoning Board of Appeals meeting at 7 p.m. November 10, Town Board regular meeting at 7. November 13, Planning Board meeting at 7:30. November 24, Town Board work meeting at 7 p.m. And November 27, happy Thanksgiving, we're closed.
No, is there any mention of, election day?
Okay, election day, November 4. Here,
I didn't see anything. We'll close, won't we?
we will be closed, except for elections. Okay, any community events anyone wants to bring forward?
Yes. There has been a rumor going around town that the Medway Congregational Church has closed its doors. This is not true. They are open, so we just want to get that out there so that, it's one of our long-lasting churches. We don't want to see it have to close because people think it's closed.
Yeah, I did see that, and I was wondering about it after you were talking about the people.
Yep. So they're going through some things, but they're open and they're ready to go.
Good.
They're waiting for everybody to come.
Good, very good. Okay, so next thing I have is resolution number 136. Resolution to authorize supervisor to pay audited claims, whereas the town clerk has presented claims to the town board for audit and review, and whereas the town board has audited claims 2025-10-01 and 2025-10-48 is resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to pay claims 2025-10-01 to 2025-10-48, and be it further resolved, the town clerk will prepare an abstract and hold it for public review until November 30, 2025. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made, I heard second?
Yeah.
All right, seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
General, $39,965.20. Highway, $29,110.37. Sewer one, $484.99. Sewer two, $940.75. Water two, $13,627.06. Water three, $1,056.57. Street lighting one, $1,890.52. Street lighting two, $229.93. Total $87,305.54.
Thank you. Barb?
Sorry, I wanted to say something when it's.
I'm not hearing you.
I wanted to say something, but I didn't know if it was everything.
Go ahead.
Yes, spin it out.
Okay, so what I wanted to say is, Mr. Knighton had mentioned, and it's, I just wanted to clarify that with that, ban on, the gas, it's really, it's for new, small
Right.
installations after 2026 and larger installations after 2029. If you have something prior to 2026 or 2029, it's not going to be, taken away, so to speak. I think though the resolution really, what it really addressed was, the state, overseeing, overarching personal rights. And I think like the 14th Amendment, so I think that's what that resolution was really about, that, they wanted to not let that happen.
Thank you. There is something that, Janet, you gave us now?
It was in my packet, so I thought maybe we were supposed to announce it. It's the Green County Veteran of the Year Award.
Well, I can do that right now.
Invitation, right, to go. I think everybody.
It was,
Yeah.
It's-
Invited just to let people
that
know.
was a while ago we got them.
Yeah, it came in September.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I'll just point
Did we
out
already do that?
that there is a,
Do we need to fix these?
on the 1st of November, 2020,
They're all gonna
Don't
go up,
worry
just keep
about it.
going.
2025 at 10 o'clock at the historic Catskill Point Warehouse in Main Street, Catskill, New York. We're going to have a ceremony
Right.
on behalf of Mr. Willie
We already did that.
Mac Jackson, Green County Veteran of the Year 25. But, maybe we can just do it twice. It's no big deal. The guy deserves the distinction. And so he was born in Georgia on February 1, 1940, but moved to Catskill shortly thereafter and lived there for over 85 years. And he spent his time in the Army at Fort Lewis, Washington from 1960 to 1962. And so I think that anyone who wants to go, I would like them to know that it's November 1st at 10 p.m. at the historic Point Warehouse.
10 p.m. or
10 a.m., excuse me.
Jeff,
Guys this old I don't stay up that late.
I'd like to make everybody aware, I have attended this ceremony, in fact, and it is really something to see. They even sent, for the one that I was a part of, a small ship to show up at the proceedings,
Aw.
because it was a Navy man who was regulated.
I was there 2, if not 3 years ago.
That was 3 years ago, my brother-in-law.
Very good. All right, so thanks for adding that to our thing. So I will entertain one more motion.
I make a motion to adjourn. I'll second.
Motion made, motion seconded. All those in favor of adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Deb, I think, thank you for bringing that attention, because people were not getting me right.
So I was.